Coach, it's postseason. We've arrived at the championship portion of the season. Starts with SEC's February 16th through 20th. You guys haven't competed in about 3 weeks. What's the preparation been like, and what's the mindset of the team going into the postseason?
Well, at this point of the year, all the work is done. Really, what we try to do is rest them as much as possible. This is where training becomes very, very scientific based on the amount of yardage that we've done throughout the year, how much we drop depending upon their events, how much yardage we drop off, how much speed we can create in the water, little technical changes. We do a lot of start and turn work. So the last 3 weeks really has been focused on not only resting them in the water, but also kind of bringing them out of the weight room, encouraging them to walk as little as possible, just to really take care of themselves. You have to be careful this time of year because with the weather, things like that, we have people getting sick, and when your body's going through changes like theirs is right now with training, it's easy for them to catch a head cold or different things like that. So we're really trying to guard them as much as possible at this point, rest them as much as possible, working on little details, but for the most part, the bulk of our work, Bear Bryant used to say the hay's in the barn.
Sure.
That's where we are right now. It's kind of a rest. We've got some interesting travel logistics that we have to go through this early next week, and so we're going to have to overcome that. But I think the mindset of our team right now is really, really good. We've had some relay meetings where we ask our men and women to essentially call their shots and in front of the team talk about what they think they're capable of going and how they're going to help that relay be better. And there sets a level of accountability to that too. And they have not shied away from it at all. They're very confident in their ability, probably. So I think. With that, I think we're in a pretty good place going forward. Right now, we're just going to continue on the track that we're on, trying to sharp up, try to get a little bit stronger, and then head out Sunday morning and kind of ride it through next week, and we'll see what happens.
You mentioned the travel logistics, and I know you try to keep the kids away from that as much as possible for it to be as easy on them as it possibly can be. At the same time, it's a much longer meet than you have at any other point. You get there earlier, you leave later. All total, you're going to be in Missouri over a week, and that's unique for the kids. What do you do to try to normalize it as much as possible?
Well, there's pros and cons to it. I think as far as like an athletic performance goes, this format sets up the best opportunity for our athletes to make the NCAA championships. I won't back down from that at all. I think the format gives them the ability to swim a single event a day and focus on that event, where a 3-day format does not allow them to do that. So, I like that part of it. Now, that being said, the cons is it is a very long meet, and the intensity level at the SEC championships is higher than anything I've ever been a part of. In most cases, the intensity level is higher than the NCAA championships because you have full team rosters from each team there. It's a very team-oriented event, and it's loud, it's very crowded. The meet sells out every year, and it has again this year. And so when you're in the fastest conference in the country and you have premier athletes from every school represented, interest comes from not just parents and fans of the school, but fans of swimming. They don't really have any relation to the SEC championships. They want to see Olympians, and they want to see really fast competition. So there's a big crowd there, and the intensity level is high from the very beginning all the way through Saturday night, and that takes a toll on you. It's a very, very long meet. It wears out our coaches. I mean, our days start at 5 o'clock in the morning and end at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning every day while we're there. And we have meetings in between sessions, and there's a lot of work that goes into it. You have to prepare for those days, not only for our athletes but for our coaches. And I think right now the way I feel is everybody is prepared mentally, everybody's prepared physically, and I think we're going to go have a great week next week.
On the guys' side, you got a couple of guys that are up near the top of the conference. I know Akram's got one of the top 1650s in the league. Niels is up there in both breaststroke events, and they're not the only ones. Cody's got some great times. Tom Parabonio's got some great times. What's it going to take for those guys who are near the top of the league to touch the wall first and to get conference championships?
Well, we're preparing differently for everybody. We have some guys, I think Akram and Niels, I think they're comfortably in a position to move on to the NCAA championships already. They're preparing differently. We don't need them to be at their absolute best at the SEC championships. I need them to go and vie for a national title at NCAA NCAA. So their training is a little different right now than maybe a Tom or maybe a Cody Beckemeyer or a Kevin Lighthold, who still need to post a time that gets them to that meet. Those guys will rest all the way down where Akram and Niels probably will not. So they're still going to be very fast, and the goal is always going to be to touch the wall first. But in the SEC, you really are, if you're at the top of that conference, you're going to be near the top of the country. So those guys that are in the top 5, the top 3, they want to win NCAAs. Akram has very, very detailed goals for this season. Same thing with Niels, all those guys. So it is a different approach for each of those individuals, but the bottom line is you get up there and you're tasked with racing as hard as you can race, and you try to get your hand on the wall no matter where you are in your training, no matter how good you feel or how bad you feel. Your job is to get to the wall first for the University of South Carolina and for your teammates. So we'll be ready to do that.
On the women's side, Emma Barksdale's been coming on strong lately, and you've got some veterans as well that seem like they're rounding into form as you get to the postseason. What do you think of your prospects on that side?
I think if you watch Emma is swimming really sharp right now, and she will continue to do so, but she is still a freshman. And the freshmen have never seen anything like this. So our job as coaches is to make sure she's calm and collected. The same thing with McKenna Keith and Paige Maynard and Marissa Delgado, all of these young ladies that have never been at a meet with this level of intensity. Our job is to let them know that you earned your way here. This is not you're not an outlier here. You're going to be a player, and just give them the confidence they need to get in the game and race. And I don't worry about them. They've done that all year long, and they've stepped up when we've needed them to. So I think they're going to be great. I think also you're looking at Meredith Vey, who's coming off of an NCAA qualifying season last year, and she broke some school records last year. She battled mono first semester, but she's coming back nicely, so I think she's going to contribute well. I think Taylor Vincent, she's had an outstanding year, and I think she is getting ready to shine. She's about to have a breakthrough year like we've never seen, and I think we're going to see a few of those girls that are still working their way into the program that are going to really explode this week and do a good job for us.
The last one for you, just overall, men's side, women's side, when we're sitting here in about a week and we're recapping what you guys have done, for it to be considered a successful meet in your mind and in the minds of those associated with the program, what do you guys need to do up in Missouri?
I think our goal as always is to take this meet and use it as a platform to get as many folks to NCAAs as we can. We're going to have swimmers there. We're going to have divers there. We have divers that are doing a great job. We've got, Julia Vincent is outstanding right now, and Jordan Gautreau's been incredible all year long. That young man has shown us that he knows how to win. And he can take it all the way to the last round of the dive, and he can be second or third place and end up winning the event. So those guys are going to put up big numbers for us. But I think the reality is this is it's a huge meet for us. It is a big team meet for us. But at the same token, the role of this is to put us in a position to step up on the national level and be great at NCAAs. With our guys, we're looking for another top 20 finish. I would love to see us break that top 15 and keep climbing that ladder. And on the women's side, I'd love to see a top 25 finish. I think we're very close. We've got to get 3 or 4 girls. We've got to get a relay to the meet. We've got to put some divers in the meet. That's what this is for. I think, I want to see a lot of A final swims, a lot of championship final swims. I want to win a couple of SEC titles here. That's our goal. If we do that, and a lot of it hinges on that first night with a couple of relays. If we start off well, we're going to be good. But I think that's the main thing. I think using this as that platform to get to the national level. This is a huge year for our program with the Olympics coming up in August, and we already have men that are going to be there. The goal is to put as many people there as we can and get as many Americans at the U.S. Olympic trials as we can. And this is a part of that trip too. This is a part of that process. So the bigger plan is playing out, and we're right where we need to be. So we're excited about this week, and then we're excited about moving on to Atlanta at the NCAA championships.
Good deal. Well, good luck, and we'll talk to you after it's over.
Thank you.